There is a kind of unhappiness that is hard to explain. Nothing is obviously falling apart. You have food. You have a place to sleep. You have a phone, entertainment, and more choices than people had in the past. Your life may even look successful from the outside. But inside, you keep asking the same quiet question. Why does my life look fine, but not feel fine? You wake up tired. You check your phone before you feel fully awake. You move through the day, collecting messages, tasks, worries, videos, and small pleasures. Then night arrives, and you wonder where the day went. You may feel guilty because you know you have many things to be grateful for. But gratitude does not mean you have to pretend everything feels good. A person can be grateful and still feel lonely. A person can be successful and still feel empty. A person can love their family and still feel lost. The problem is not always that you need more happiness. Sometimes you need a better understanding of what happiness is. In this episode, we will look at 10 ideas that can make a life feel better from the inside. We will talk about pleasure, satisfaction, attention, comparison, rest, relationships, meaning, difficult emotions, and the meaning of enough. This is not a promise that you will feel happy every day. That promise would not be honest. The goal is something more useful, to understand how to build a life that you do not constantly need to escape from. Lesson 1. Happiness is not one feeling. When people say, "I want to be happy," they may mean several different things. They may want pleasure. Pleasure is the good feeling of a meal, a joke, a song, a holiday, or a message from someone you love. They may want satisfaction. Satisfaction is the quieter feeling that your life is moving in a direction you respect. They may want meaning. Meaning is the feeling that your effort matters to someone or something beyond your immediate comfort. They may want peace. Peace is not excitement. It is the ability to sit inside an ordinary moment without feeling that you should be somewhere else. These things are connected, but they are not the same. You can have pleasure without satisfaction. You can have a meaningful life that contains pain. You can feel sad today and still believe your life is worth living. Imagine Paper Guy eating a piece of cake while looking at his week. The cake tastes good, but the rest of the week is filled with poor sleep, avoided conversations, work he does not care about, and no time to recover. The cake did not fail. It was simply asked to solve a problem it was never designed to solve. This is how many people treat happiness. They use small pleasures to cover a life that needs attention. Pleasure is not bad. We need pleasure. A life with no enjoyment becomes hard and dry. But pleasure alone cannot carry the weight of a whole life. A happier life has more than good feelings. It has direction. It has connection. It has moments of rest. It has something worth caring about. The first lesson is simple. A bad mood is not proof that your whole life is wrong. Your feelings matter, but one feeling cannot describe your entire life. Before asking, "Why am I not happy?" ask a better question. Which part of happiness is missing right now? Do you need pleasure, rest, closeness, direction, or meaning? That question is more useful because it gives you somewhere to begin. Lesson 2. The finish line keeps moving. Many people carry a sentence that begins with 4 words. I will be happy when. I will be happy when I earn more. I will be happy when my body looks different. I will be happy when I find the right person. I will be happy when people respect my work. I will be happy when I move to a better place. Goals can improve our lives. More money can reduce stress. Better health can create freedom. A good relationship can bring love and safety. The problem begins when a goal becomes a permission slip to live later. Paper Guy runs toward a finish line. Every time he gets close, the finish line moves farther away. First the sign says, "Enough money." Then it says, "More money." First it says, "Success." Then it says, "Success that everyone can see." This happens because the mind adapts. What once felt special becomes normal. The new home becomes the room you walk through without noticing. The achievement that once made you proud becomes the standard you must repeat. There is always another condition that appears to be the final condition. The danger is not ambition. The danger is believing that the present has no value until the future arrives. You can work toward a better life and still live this part of the journey. You can save for a home and still enjoy the room you have now. You can improve your health without treating your current body as an enemy. You can want more without deciding that what you have is worthless. Ask yourself 2 questions. What am I moving toward? And what is already available to me today? The first question gives you direction. The second question gives you a life while you move. If you only have the first question, you will keep running. If you only have the second question, you may stop growing. A good life needs both. Lesson 3. More stops, feeling like more. There is another reason happiness can feel difficult in a comfortable life. The mind gets used to comfort. The first time you hear a song, it feels fresh. After hearing it many times, you may skip it. The first week in a new home feels exciting. Months later, the same walls become almost invisible. This ability to adapt is useful. If we noticed every familiar comfort with full intensity, we would be overwhelmed. The mind turns familiar things into background so that we can focus on new problems. But adaptation creates a trap. We mistake the fading of excitement for the failure of the thing itself. So we reach for a replacement, a new purchase, a new goal, a new video, a new productivity system, a new version of ourselves. The reward arrives. We feel good for a while. Then the feeling becomes normal and the hunger returns. This cycle can make you feel ungrateful. You look at your life and think, why do I still want more? Sometimes the answer is not that you are a bad person. Sometimes your brain has simply converted yesterday's miracle into today's furniture. The answer is not to reject all new things. The answer is to learn how to see familiar things again. You can do this through attention, variety, and distance. Leave a place and notice what you missed. Put the phone away while eating and notice the taste. Take a break from constant entertainment and notice how ordinary activities begin to feel less dull. Paper Guy does not always need a larger pile of rewards. Sometimes he needs to look at the pile he already has. Happiness needs time to land. If every moment is immediately replaced by another moment, nothing has time to become meaningful. Lesson 4. Your attention becomes your life. Your life is made of moments, but your experience of life is made of attention. You can sit at a dinner table while thinking about tomorrow. You can walk through a beautiful place while checking messages. You can talk to someone you love while secretly waiting for the next notification. Your body is in one place, but your attention is somewhere else. This makes life feel strangely thin. The moment is happening, but you are not fully receiving it. The problem is not only the phone. The deeper problem is constant switching. Your mind moves from a message to a task, from a video to a worry, from a memory to a comparison. Each switch feels small, but together they make it difficult to stay anywhere. Paper Guy sits at dinner. His food is warm. Someone is speaking to him. But a glowing phone pulls his attention away again and again. The meal is not empty. His attention is divided. Try one small experiment. Choose one ordinary activity each day and do only that activity for 10 minutes. Eat without watching anything. Walk without checking your phone. Drink your coffee without reading the news. Listen to a person without preparing your reply. At first, this may feel boring. That does not mean the experiment is failing. It may mean your attention has been trained to expect constant stimulation. Boredom is sometimes the doorway back to feeling. You do not need to become perfectly mindful. You only need to return more often. The question is not, how do I make every moment exciting? The better question is, how often am I actually here for the moments I already have? Lesson 5. Comparison changes the size of your life. Comparison is not always bad. It can teach us. It can show us what we want. It can help us improve. But modern comparison has become unusually powerful. You can compare your ordinary Tuesday with hundreds of other people's best moments before breakfast. You see the new job, the perfect home, the beautiful holiday, the strong body, the happy relationship, and the confident smile. You do not see the private worry, the debt, the argument, the loneliness, or the hours of failure behind the image. You are comparing your behind-the-scenes life with the trailer for everyone else's. This makes a normal life feel like a failed life. Paper Guy sits in his small room while giant screens around him show other people looking successful. The screens are bright. His room is real. The more he looks, the smaller his own life feels. Comparison does not only change what you think, it changes what you notice. You stop seeing the people who love you because you are looking at people you do not know. You stop seeing the progress you made because you are measuring yourself against someone else's finished picture. The answer is not to hate everyone who is doing well. Other people's good news is not an attack on you. The answer is to choose your comparisons carefully and return to your own values. Ask, What do I actually want if nobody could see it? Which parts of my life already feel honest? Which goals came from my own heart, and which ones came from watching other people? You do not need a life that wins in public. You need a life that feels real when the screen is off. Lesson 6. Rest is not the same as stopping. Many people say they need rest, but what they really need is recovery. Stopping work is not always recovery. Lying on a sofa while scrolling through stressful information may be inactivity, but your mind is still working. Sleeping late after several nights of poor sleep may help, but it may not repair a whole pattern of pressure. A weekend filled with errands, screens, and worry may leave you asking why you never feel refreshed. Recovery has different forms. The body may need sleep. The mind may need quiet. The emotions may need a safe conversation. The attention may need fewer demands. The spirit may need play, beauty, nature, or meaning. Paper Guy lies on a sofa, but invisible task lists hang from his shoulders. His body has stopped moving, but his mind is still carrying tomorrow. This is why some rest does not feel restful. It does not reach the tired part. Try asking, what kind of tired am I? If you are physically tired, protect sleep and reduce unnecessary effort. If you are mentally tired, create a period with no decisions and no incoming information. If you are emotionally tired, stop pretending you are fine and speak honestly with someone safe. If you are bored and flat, you may need meaningful activity rather than more passive entertainment. Recovery is not laziness. It is maintenance for a human being. You do not have to earn rest by collapsing. Rest is part of the work of staying alive in a healthy way. Lesson 7. Contact is not the same as closeness. You can be surrounded by people and still feel alone. You can receive messages all day and still have nobody you can call when your life becomes difficult. Contact is not the same as closeness. Attention is not the same as understanding. Being visible is not the same as being known. Paper Guy stands beneath hundreds of message bubbles. The bubbles are bright, but they float above him. Behind a glass wall, one person sits quietly, ready for an honest conversation. The distance between them is small, but Paper Guy has forgotten how to cross it. Real connection usually needs time, presence, and some risk. You have to say what is actually happening. You have to listen without trying to fix everything. You have to allow another person to be imperfect. This can feel harder than sending a message because it gives you less control. A real conversation can disappoint you. It can also comfort you in a way that 100 likes cannot. Ask yourself, who can I be honest with? Who knows the version of me that is not performing? Who do I want to know better? You do not need a huge social life. You need a few relationships where you can lower the mask. Sometimes the first step is very small. Call someone instead of sending a reaction. Invite one person for a simple meal. Tell the truth about how your week felt. Ask a question and stay long enough to hear the answer. Happiness is not only something that happens inside one person. It is also built between people. Lesson 8. Meaning comes from contribution. Pleasure asks, what can life give me? Meaning asks, what can I give to life? This does not mean you must save the world. Contribution can be small. You can care for a child. You can make useful work. You can teach someone. You can repair something. You can make a difficult day easier for another person. A life centered only on receiving eventually becomes narrow. There is always another thing to want, but wanting alone does not make a person feel needed. Paper Guy builds a bridge. The bridge is not glamorous. It takes time. His hands are tired. But other people are able to cross because he kept building. Meaning often arrives through this kind of effort. It is not always exciting. Sometimes it feels like responsibility. Sometimes it looks like doing the same caring thing again tomorrow. Useful struggle can feel better than empty comfort because it connects your effort to a result that matters. Ask, what problem do I care enough to help with? Who benefits when I do my work well? What small responsibility would make my life feel more connected to other people? Do not wait until you have a perfect purpose. Purpose is often discovered after you begin caring for something. You do not need to be important to everyone. You need to be useful to someone in a way that feels honest to you. Lesson 9. Stop demanding permanent happiness. Some people become unhappy because they are constantly checking whether they are happy enough. They wake up and ask, do I feel good today? They have a difficult conversation and think, my life is going backward. They feel bored and assume something is wrong with them. But a human life contains changing weather. There will be joy, sadness, fear, boredom, anger, hope, and calm. The goal is not to remove every uncomfortable feeling. The goal is to stop every uncomfortable feeling from controlling the whole story. Paper Guy walks along a path. Above him, the weather changes from sunshine to rain, fog, and wind. The path does not disappear. He keeps moving, sometimes slowly, sometimes with a smile, sometimes with his head lowered. Sadness is not always a problem to solve. Anger may show that a boundary was crossed. Boredom may show that your life needs more participation. Fear may show that something matters. Of course, some suffering needs serious help. If you feel persistently hopeless, unsafe, or unable to function, speak to a qualified professional or a trusted person. You do not have to carry serious pain alone. But ordinary negative emotions are not evidence that you have failed at happiness. Let a difficult day be a difficult day. You do not need to turn it into a difficult identity. Lesson 10. Build an ordinary good life. Many people wait for motivation to create a better life. But motivation changes. Your environment is more reliable. Make the good choice easier to see. Put the book where you sit. Keep the walking shoes ready. Leave the phone outside the bedroom. Put important conversations on the calendar. Keep food that helps you feel well within easy reach. Make space for hobbies before the week becomes full. Your surroundings are always teaching you what to do next. Paper Guy stands inside a simple home system. One part protects sleep. One part protects attention. One part creates movement. One part makes room for connection, play, and contribution. None of the parts is dramatic. Together, they create a life with more chances to feel alive. An ordinary good life may look unremarkable from the outside. It may contain a regular breakfast, a walk, work done with care, one honest conversation, a little laughter, and enough sleep to begin again. That may sound small. Small does not mean unimportant. Your life is mostly made of ordinary days. If your ordinary days are designed against you, a special holiday cannot repair everything. If your ordinary days contain care, attention, and connection, they can carry you through difficult seasons. Ask yourself, what would an ordinary good day look like for me? Not an impressive day, not a perfect day. A good day that I could repeat. Then protect the pieces that make that day possible. My thought. Happiness is not a prize hidden at the end of achievement. It is not a permanent smile. It is not the absence of problems. It is not proof that your life looks impressive to other people. Happiness is built through the way you pay attention, the people you stay close to, the work you are willing to care about, the rest you allow yourself, and the meaning you give to ordinary days. You can still want a better future. Just do not make the present wait outside the door. You can still enjoy pleasure. Just do not ask pleasure to repair a life that needs connection or direction. You can still improve yourself. Just do not turn self-improvement into a permanent accusation against who you are now. And you can still have difficult days without deciding that your whole life is wrong. Perhaps the better question is not, how can I feel happy all the time? Perhaps it is, what kind of life would make happiness more likely to visit? A life with fewer distractions. A life with people you can be honest with. A life with work that contributes something. A life with enough quiet to notice what is already here. You do not need to escape your life before you are allowed to enjoy it. Start with one moment today. Put down the phone. Look at the person in front of you. Eat the meal while it is still warm. Take the walk. Say the honest sentence. Do the small useful thing. The life you want is not built in one grand transformation. It is built in the moments you stop abandoning.